Hey guys, welcome back. Jim and Doug Show, episode 34, October 15th, 2018. How you doing, partner?
Doing well, doing well. How about you?
Doing okay.
So,
Lots going on.
there's a lot going on. So I don't know what you want to start with here. Baseball, football. I guess we'll go into football since it's fresh in our mind.
All right.
So what's first on the docket for you?
Well, listen, I mean, why don't we quickly cover the Jets and the Giants? I mean, the Giants, I don't even know what to say anymore. Season's lost. I mean, but, I'll stick with, we still made the right choice. I don't blame this all on Manning, but they just can't get it together. And I think this Beckham is a distraction, and I only think it's going to get worse, even though the season's lost already.
Yeah. Look, I don't want to blame it all on Eli either. He's obviously done. Pretty sure he's done. At least being a starting quarterback. I mean, he could maybe go on to another team if he wants to go that route, which I would hate to see. Be a backup, but this is going to be his last year as the starter of the Giants. Yeah, you know what? If we can find a way to get this, if the Giants can find a way to get this quarterback that's coming out from Oregon, he looks pretty good. I'll feel a lot better about the choice to pass up on the quarterback in the last draft. So I won't, look, Barkley looks like he might be the next Barry Sanders. He really looks like that.
I've been telling you that all along. There's no question.
I never doubted him. It wasn't about him. It was about the positional value of having a franchise quarterback. You just can't, you and anybody else can't deny that you would rather have a starting franchise quarterback than a phenomenal running back. Now, if you can have both, that's where you got something cooking. So hopefully we can find a way to get both of them in place at the same time in their primes, and then things will be great.
Well, listen, like I said, we can always come back and get a quarterback or even trade for somebody down the road. And yeah, am I going to say he's done? I'm not going to say he's done, but something's just not clicking anymore, and So we'll go to the other side of the the stadium, and the Jets. I can't say Darnold's not doing well. He's doing good.
He's doing great. He looks. He's gonna every game he's gonna have one of those rookie mistakes where, he even had it against the Colts. He just chucked the ball down the field and into double coverage and it got picked. He's gonna have those. He's already was turnover prone anyway coming out of college, so I accepted that when I was thinking that he might going to my team. I accepted that, and I knew that he's gonna have some rookie mistakes. So obviously those rear their ugly head, but there's a lot of good things to that. He throws a great deep ball. He has good command of the offense. He mixes it up as far as what receivers he's throwing to. He's not throwing to the same guy all the time. He looks very advanced for a rookie, in my opinion. He looks like he belongs.
Yeah, and I don't think he's not lighting it up, and he does make rookie mistakes. They don't have a lot around him, but it was sad watching yesterday with Luck. I mean, the guy is so good, and he has nobody around him, and he's just going to get beat up and run into the ground, and I feel bad for the guy. I wish he was on a team that was, if he was quarterback of a solid team, he could take them all away, and he's just got an awful team around him, and the Jets handled them pretty easily. Looked like they were going to come back, but I don't think the game was ever in question.
No, it was, they would have needed an onside kick or something to really get back into it, so it was never too much of in doubt. Yeah, he looks good. I mean, the thing with him is he just needs protection. I don't think, they have a lot of drop passes, which I have seen, so, you can talk about the weapons he has, for one, but the protection, I mean, he just gets killed up there. And that's how he got him injured in the first place, with just all the hits he took.
I feel bad that he's playing for that team, because he could bring a lot to it. Listen, they want to trade him to the Giants for next year.
So he can get beat. So he can get beat up over here.
I don't know. I
think you might rather stay where he is than coming to our line.
Hopefully we'll fix that by next year. Anyway, I don't know.
I mean, how long have we been saying that?
I know, but at least we got wide receivers, and
that's one plus we have. I'll give you that. But I'll keep holding my breath on the line. I don't see anything changing as far as that. It's just every year. That's one of my reasons I'm so upset with them. It's just the same problems every year, and it's just we're the only team that can't get out of its own way. We're the only team. Even the Browns found their way out. We can't get out of our own way. Every year.
The Browns came back to earth yesterday, though. I mean, they're not a team that's going to be, in the playoff mix, but
no,
yeah,
but
they're on the right track. And
yeah.
Listen, they got 2 wins and a tie, which is more than 1 win and 5 losses. So
yeah, they should have had a couple other wins though if it wasn't for the kicking game. But anyway, yeah.
But overall,
the Giants, if we're going back to 2013, they've won 19 games, and they've won 19 games in 6 years. I mean, that's an embarrassment.
Awful.
That's an embarrassment. So now you can see why I get mad. I get so mad. I understand. I understand if any fan is just upset because it's not the Giants football. It's not what we're used to.
And it's not going to get any easier, this coming week because they're not going to go down and beat Ryan and the Falcons in Atlanta. So I mean, now we're looking at 1-6. So.
I mean, at this point, lose them all. Try and get that quarterback. That's all. At this point, I mean, it's not. Nothing's going to get better. I'm only tuning in to see Barkley, so it's just, it's not going to. I don't want to see Eli throw 2-foot passes the entire game. So it's just, we got to make do with what we got right now, and that's that. We got to just, make the best of it. Try and develop some of the younger players. Watch Barkley, but really try and evaluate everything we have because, I'll say one thing about Gettleman. They brought him in. The thing that I seem to forget this too when I get upset, but he can't fix the mess that was left behind in 1 year.
No, of course not. I'm not hanging Gettleman on this. Not at all.
And I get upset because of the draft, and I was really gung ho towards drafting a quarterback, but I really got to remember that it's going to take a couple years to turn over this roster and try and really get some talent in here. And he did the same thing in Carolina. He got brought in Carolina and had to kind of turn everything over, and it took him a few years, but eventually they had a team full of talent that got to the Super Bowl. So I'm hoping that's what the end goal is for him. So I'll stick by him in that regard.
Yeah, no question. But overall, looking around the NFL, the Rams and KC and the Patriots, they look, these are the 3 best teams in the league, I think.
Yeah.
I don't.
I'll throw the Saints in there.
They come and go sometimes, though. I mean, these other teams have been consistent. Kansas City, I mean, they could have pulled it out last night. It was close. But the Rams, they beat everybody that comes to town. I think, what a turnaround. What a Sean McVay. You got to tip your hat to this guy.
He's great.
Big time.
He's great. Yeah, he's a good coach. He's pretty. I just feel like he's an ahead of the curve type guy. Like he knows where the NFL is going, and he kind of put a roster together and has all the tools in place for extended success. For like a kind of like not really Patriots-esque. I guess you could say Patriots-esque because you see they're always ahead of the curve. They always have the next man up. If somebody leaves, they have someone to fill in. The Rams don't ever miss a beat. It just seems like they have injuries and they have Goff. They just throw him in there. He was a bust. Everyone was saying he was a bust under Fisher. They throw him in and they just make it work with him. I feel like the Rams are that kind of team. They kind of just make it work. They win. Doesn't matter who's playing. Doesn't matter if the quarterback's going to complete 40 passes, complete 10 passes. They just find a way to win. So
I'm actually happy for Goff that he's really turned it around to that extent. And what's a surprise for me because I remember he blew his knee out when he came out. I never thought Gurley was going to turn back into this superstar running back, but he is top of the heap in the NFL right now.
He's great. He's great. He's good in the passing game. He's good in the running game. He's just a menace. And I think he had a career high 200 yards yesterday. Like I said, their passing game wasn't much. There wasn't much to their passing game yesterday, so they just rode the hot hand, Gurley.
they've had a bunch of injuries too, and they still managed to go on the road and win a game. I think it's great. I love it.
Yeah, it's good stuff. It really is.
So we'll touch base on last week's picks. Again, Jim is doing okay. I had Tampa Bay at Atlanta. I took Atlanta. I had Buffalo at Houston. Took Houston. And I don't think there's any question tonight. I don't think San Francisco is going to get much of a game in Green Bay. So those were my picks from last week, and we'll go over your picks from last week if you want.
Oh, no. All right, let's hear it.
Well, you had Kansas City at New England. You took KC.
All right, don't blame me for that. Don't blame me for that one.
All right, I'm not done yet. We had Jacksonville at Dallas. You took Jacksonville. They got annihilated. And I don't know, your loyalty, your heart's getting in front of your head. You had the Giants over Philly, and I don't know when you're going to come back to earth on that. So
now I'm back now. That was their their last gasp, I think. Then I don't think anything will. I think this might be it. This is it for them. I won't be picking them. The rest
all right. Well, here we go. So let's cover our picks right now while we're on the NFL. I got Buffalo at Indy. I think Indy bounces back. I think Buffalo is just too erratic, and if they got to go with Peterman, that's not going to happen. Detroit at Miami, and I know Miami had a big win over Chicago yesterday, but for some reason, I'm still not sold on them. And if Tannehill's hurt, Detroit seems to play well, except for the opening game against the Jets at home. And I got Carolina at the Eagles, and I think Carolina's in a tailspin, and I think the Eagles are going to start bouncing back. So those are my three picks.
Yeah, Carolina, they're a strange team. I mean, everyone wanted to, give them props and everything for beating the Giants, but they really shouldn't be that proud of it. They needed a 63-yard field goal to beat us. Yep. So it was, I don't know. It's a strange game. Tennessee is a team that no one can figure out. No one can figure out Tennessee. One week they look great, the next week they're losing to the Bills, and they look like terrible against the Ravens. So a lot of these teams, I think Carolina fits that bill. You just can't figure it out.
That's what's happening to all these teams. That's why the Rams and Kansas City and those. So at least they're consistent, even if they lose a game like Kansas City. They keep it close, but Tennessee got annihilated yesterday by Baltimore. Annihilated.
Yeah, they did look terrible.
11 sacks. I mean, not even the Giants give up 11. I mean, that tells you something.
I mean, don't challenge them now.
So who's your picks? Go ahead.
Okay. All right. One pick I like. I don't understand this. I'm still going back to my spreads, but I'm taking an outright winner. The Minnesota at the Jets. They have Minnesota only favored by only 3.5. I think they actually play a little better on the road than they do at home. They had no problem going into Philly and winning handily there, so I don't think they'll have a big problem coming into the Meadowlands to beat the Jets. So I'll take Minnesota as my first pick.
All right.
I'm going to go with a road underdog here, Cleveland over Tampa Bay. It's not really much to say about Cleveland for me. It's more about Tampa Bay. I just think they're kind of like you said with Carolina. I think they're about to hit a tailspin. I don't really like what I see from them, especially on defense. Their defense is just awful, and I think they just fired their defensive coordinator. So
you're liking Tampa Bay here on the road?
No, like in Cleveland. Tampa Bay is home.
Oh, all right, yeah, okay.
I think Tampa Bay is in a tailspin the same way you say Carolina. So I'm gonna, by default, I'm gonna take Cleveland. I think they're competent enough, and they got something going there. I think they can go in and get a road win in Tampa. So that's my second pick.
I don't disagree with that because I don't see much in Jameis Winston, and I just don't think much of Tampa Bay at all. So I don't disagree with that one.
No, yeah, I like that. And my other one, so this is a pick'em game. It's probably one of the games of the weekend. Washington hosting Dallas. It's a pick'em for some reason. I think Washington should be favored. I know Dallas looked great yesterday against Jacksonville, and I'm going to go ahead and pick against them again. I'm going to take Washington here at home. They look good. They look competent on offense. Alex Smith he's not going to make a lot of mistakes there, and Blake Bortles really didn't show anything against that Dallas D. I think Alex Smith is a little better, and he'll show a little more. So Washington, Cleveland, and Minnesota. That's my 3 picks.
All right, that's duly noted.
That's my 3 3-0 week. All right, so next week.
Yeah, well, you do.
We're gonna be talking 3-0.
Hey, what was the deal with yesterday though? There was a game in London. It was the Raider game. That was not on TV. Was the NFL asking us to pay for this online and stream it?
No, I don't think there was any deal. I think it just wasn't on TV because they were out of market.
Yeah, but how could an NFL game not be on TV? I don't understand that.
Well, what do you mean? Like it wasn't at 9 o'clock. Did you think it was at 9 o'clock?
No. I think it was a later game, which they're going back to a 9 o'clock start on next week.
Yeah.
But I was just surprised that at least the NFL Network or Fox Sports 1, 2 didn't carry it.
No, they don't. They don't carry every game around here.
I've never seen a London game from the NFL not on television until yesterday.
Maybe because it was San Diego, or who was it? Seattle and Oakland, right?
Right.
I think just because they were 2 West Coast teams weren't in this market. I think if you lived out West Coast, I think you would have got the game.
And I'm guessing you could be right, because usually when either the Jets or Giants at home, the New York market doesn't show the second game. But it was a little surprising though that at least wasn't carried on NFL Network, even at a market. It was just surprising.
Yeah, I'm sure it was on the ticket and everything, but it was just that is. I guess you're right. Usually they play the London game. A lot of the times they're on at 9, so they're always on. Like that Charger game this week coming up will be on.
Yeah.
It'll be on whatever channel it's on, but everyone can watch it, which is great. I love those. I can wake up and watch a game right away.
Yeah, it's like watching the Ryder Cup at 6 in the morning.
So, I love that. I wish that was every weekend. I love it. By the way, did you see Johnny Miller retired?
What, he dropped off NBC?
Yeah, he's done. 50. I just saw it before we called in. It was 50 years broadcast. So his last event is going to be the one during the Super Bowl weekend. So that's going to be his last event.
All right. Listen, I always told you I was a Johnny Miller fan as when he was playing, and always liked him as an analysis guy. And yeah, okay, we'll sign off on him.
He has some wisecracks and everything. I liked him. I definitely will miss him.
He was very critical of some guys. That's why he rubbed some guys the wrong way. But hey, that's what it's supposed to be about. I don't knock him for that.
Yeah, he definitely. Yeah, he had a propensity to rub people the wrong way. But hey, he told it like he thought. Some people, we get mad at people who are fake and people who hold back. He never held back.
Yep, agreed.
So
let's move on to Major League Baseball. So, we got the Red Sox and the Brewers, right? And the Astros, and then the Brewers and the Dodgers.
Yes.
I'm sticking with my original picks. I like the Brewers, and I think the Astros are the team to beat. Although they didn't seem to fare too well in Boston. Hey, they got out of there 1-1, which is fine.
They signed up for that, but now they got to come home and take care of business.
Yeah.
Am I crazy, or I really don't think this series goes back to Boston? I don't want to sound like a Boston hater, like a Yankee fan, but I just think Houston's a better team, like all around.
I thought that all year long, and now that Sale's out, he's on the shelf. Price, I wouldn't give the ball to in the playoffs. Not with an 0-10 record.
No.
And I do. I think they're still loaded, the Astros, and
So do you think
I
the
wouldn't
series?
be surprised if it doesn't go back to Boston either. I agree with you.
Yeah, just going home, and we know how, as Yankee fans, we know how crazy their crowd can get. And, they play to that, and they have their pitching lined up. They have better pitching than Boston's going to throw out. Keuchel and Morton against Porcello. I guess Porcello's game 4. Porcello and Eovaldi. I'll give the edge to Houston. And then for the closing game, you got to come back to Verlander. You got to face Verlander again. So Verlander's on the mound up 3-1, you might as well not even play because he's going to shut you down. So yeah,
still a toss up right now, but like I said, I'm not turning my head. I'm sticking with Houston, and not because it has anything to do with Boston. I just think they match up better.
Yeah.
And in the National League, I'm going to stick with the Brewers. I'm just not seeing a lot in. I mean, Kershaw got rocked, which means he's probably going to come back and have a star-studded game. So we'll concede that, but that's going to go back to the. That's going to go to a Game 6 or Game 7. I think that's how tight it is.
I'm going to say Dodgers in 7. That's my prediction. I'm going to say I think the Dodgers. They both have so much talent. I think the Dodgers just outlast them because they have a little bit more pitching, and I think the Brewers, they're living dangerously with this kind of hodgepodge group of pitchers. I think they're due for 1 or 2 games where their starter just gets knocked up. Because
that's why I think it's going to end up going 6 or 7, and it could go either way. But I'm going to stick with the Brewers. You take the Dodgers, and we'll hash it out then. We'll see.
Yeah,
how it goes.
Next week we'll talk about it for sure because that'll be it. But either way, I think we're definitely due for some good baseball. Starting tonight. So Game 3's tonight.
Yep.
Yeah,
good series, good matchups here, so it should be interesting.
Yeah.
Either way, no matter who wins, the World Series should be good, right? We got the 2 best teams in the American League and 2 of the better teams in the National League. That's usually how it's supposed to work out. So let's see how it goes.
Agreed. I think there's no doubt about it that there's 4 great deserving teams to be the champion that are in the mix.
Yeah, let's see how that goes. So listen, let's just touch base on college football and. Let's go back to last week's show. I said there didn't seem to be a lot happening. I didn't expect to see much shake up in the top 10. But I did say that Michigan State was the upset over Penn State, and that happened. That happened.
That team, man, that team is just they really always find a way to kind of get it, even if they're not particularly that good that year. They're always in the mix. They always find a way to kind of pull an upset or get their name in the news somehow. So Penn State.
That's how I felt. That's why I felt that, and it panned out. Like I said, I thought Wisconsin would give Michigan a better game, but they kind of got beat up pretty good. Michigan's
better than a lot of people. Harbaugh, we got to give him a little credit. We were badmouthing him, saying all this stuff a couple weeks ago. He's put together a string of wins now. I think they get Penn State and Ohio State at home, I want to say.
So and then we'll talk about Harbaugh after that. I'm not putting him in the Hall of Fame just yet, and I'm not sold on Shea Patterson as the quarterback. So
that's what's going to be, that's going to be what determines what we think of them. I think they're playing Michigan State this week now.
And listen, I don't know where that game is, but Michigan State, like I said, they come up with big wins sometimes.
Michigan State's home.
It'll be closer than people think. They won't get blown out. I know that.
No, they'll come to play. Hey, they're ranked now, Michigan State. So
yeah, they moved into the top 25 because of that win. Yep.
They'll come to play. So there were some good games. I'm always glued to college football. Whatever. When even if there's not particularly a lot of good games. Notre Dame was in a dogfight. They were able to survive. Pitt always gives them a good game. So I would consider that like a mark against Notre Dame. They're just 2 teams. They always play each other. They know how it goes. It's just always a dogfight.
But like I said, there's not going to be a lot of shakeups. But the big games are coming. And like I said, I'll buy into Harbaugh if he can take down Ohio State, which I don't think is going to happen, and it's going to kill him. It's going to kill him.
We got to wait till the last game for that, which is just it's always a good treat at the end of the year, but. I'm anxious to see how everything shakes out.
Hey, listen, if we want to just touch base, high school football again. Every team that gets bumped up to number 1 in New Jersey seems to get knocked off. And you guys, Pope John from Sparta, gave Bergen all they can handle the other day. Believe it or not, 14-6. And
really,
yeah,
I'm surprised about that because they are supposed to be down this year. Like Spartans lost to Randolph.
They did lose, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, they lost. I really didn't think that Randolph would pose a challenge, but they must be the real deal. Let's see. I saw the final, but I forget what it was. I gotta find it. But it was.
But I mean, Pope John gave a good run at Bergen, but they ended up losing at the end. And St. Joe's bounced back. They won a good game. So, like I said, the shake-up in New Jersey is consistent, if nothing else. And,
hey, you know what that means? There's a lot of talent out there.
It means that's what it means. That's exactly what it means. Great talent.
Yeah. People, anybody can beat anybody on a given day, so that's what you want.
So we'll keep an eye on high school football. And like I said, you know where my heart is, but I'm also I play with my head too. So.
Hey, well, you know what? That's the playoffs is when it's all going to come out. So St. Joe's may take a loss in the regular season, but they'll be around playoff time, and they can get revenge.
And I know you're bigger on the NBA than I am, and the season kicks off this week, and I just what's driving me crazy is this Jimmy Butler thing. Like, why is he all of a sudden considered one of the top 2 or 3 players in basketball?
He's definitely not. He's definitely not.
I know.
It's a lot to do about nothing, in my opinion. He's, there's one thing. It's one thing to demand a trade, but to kind of go in and, kind of act cocky the way he has. I'm really soured on him. He's a good player for sure. He's a very good player, but he's just not what everyone's making him out to be right now.
No, and I'm shocked at the way, like I said, I think the owner's right on. He goes, I'll take phone calls for this guy,
Yeah, that's how it goes. But, he's not really even what I'm thinking about. It's going to be a down year for the local teams, that. But I'm excited to see the younger guys play and get a chance and kind of grow. It's the first time they're really going to do a true rebuild in New York, where they're not trying to cut corners and try and get a superstar quick or trade their assets for somebody who's not that good. So I'm really anxious to see how this goes with the real rebuild and just keep getting talent, keep accumulating talent and putting them on the team. So
right, but the Knicks are actually consistent again because now they're on the hook. They cut Noah and they owe him $37 million. So,
yeah, they had to do that though. I wanted to wait, but they had to do it. They had to do it, and they'll stretch out his salary. So.
I would venture to say the Knicks have the highest payroll for guys that aren't even playing basketball anymore.
Well, yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, you're probably right. It's as far as the last maybe 10 years, they probably paid the most to guys that haven't played.
Hey, but sticking with the NBA for one more, not just the NBA. I don't know if you saw it. ESPN's doing this documentary called Basketball, A Love Story.
Oh, I loved it. I watched the first episode.
Oh, you got to watch this. I missed the first one, but I caught the second one, and I said if the first one is as good as the second one, I'm all in. I mean, unbelievable.
Yeah,
it was
really good. It was really good. How many parts is it?
I don't know, but I think there's more than 2, so I'm kind of psyched.
Yeah, if you let me know if you see it on again. I taped both of them. I have them both recorded. I watched the first. I didn't get a chance to watch the second yet, but I really liked the first one. It was really good, and I like it goes back and forth. It's not just the older days, and it's not just the newer times. It's kind of just a mix, everything. I really like it.
Oh, it was outstanding. I give that a Monahan and DePrecker 2 thumbs up right there. No question.
For sure. Yeah, it was enjoyable.
We'll stay with that. And listen, going to the NHL, Rangers are off to kind of a slow start, although they're playing very well, and the Devils are hot too. But I tell you, we never really get a chance to see the Edmonton Oilers play unless they're right because we don't see much.
Once a year, maybe.
But I'll tell you, this guy Connor McDavid, superstar. And the kid Matthews for Toronto, those are the 2 best players in the NHL right now. No question.
Toronto is just Toronto might win it all.
They could win it all with that Tavares acquisition.
Oh my God, they're unstoppable. Their first 2 lines are like elite. It's unbelievable. Their first 2 lines. That's a hockey town that's been starved for success for a while. So even though it's kind of like a super team, I'm happy to see them win.
Yeah.
Because they're hockey through and through, and they've had bad teams for a while, the Leafs. So I'm happy to see them succeed and get a little better.
And I know, but I think you're right. I think, they've always come up short, the Maple Leafs, certainly in the past 20 years, but that Tavares acquisition, that could put them in the Stanley Cup Finals.
I need to see a series between Toronto and Pittsburgh. I need to see that.
Yep.
It would be a great series. I hope we're talking in April about that and just seeing how it all pans out. But I hope that we're talking about a series between them.
But just keep an eye on this kid McDavid. Believe this or not.
I'm well aware. He's very good.
It's his 4th year in the league, and he's 21 years old.
Yeah. I have a couple of friends who are really into hockey, and they tell me, like, the things they say about him, like how good he is, I wouldn't believe it, but the few games I've watched him play, he really is very good.
Yeah. I mean, the Rangers, I really love the coach. I love Quinn. I love the coach. I love that he's starting a lot of young guys. He's rebuilding this year, but they're gonna need a goaltender because I think Lundqvist, he's hit the wall here. I don't think he's gonna get you anywhere. And if I hear one more time somebody refer to him as the king, it's gonna drive me off the road. You know that?
Yeah, it's gonna be. He just doesn't really mesh with the timeline because, as you said, it's all younger guys that are kind of getting a chance to play, and they're not going to be that good. They're not going to make the playoffs. We know this.
Right, but I think Quinn is on the right track with what he's trying to do.
That's what they have to do. They're doing what they have to do. Get the young guys in, build a program, 2 or 3 years, then, when everybody grows up and, then you can get the free agents and fill the mold. Now, I don't know if Lundqvist fits that.
No, I don't think so at all. So
we may see, mid-season, we may see him go.
But we don't have like a stellar backup anymore either. So
we traded him away. How many good backups did we have that we traded away?
I don't know. I mean, the last guy we had was Talbot, I guess, right? But
Talbot, Ronta, he wasn't bad. I don't know. I'm not sure what they have kind of in the farm system. I think they drafted a goalie pretty early.
But I'm all in with Quinn's philosophy, though, and and I love that the Devils are hot. Did Lamoriello come back to the Devils? I'm not sure.
Oh, Islanders.
Lamoriello went to the Islanders?
Yep.
Wow. Because that guy wins wherever he goes, so that's good news for the Islanders. Because I think the world of Lamoriello. I think he's a stud.
Oh, he's great. He's great. He's a big-time hockey guy. You're right. You said it best. Wherever he goes, wins follow him. So I think, and they also got the coach of the Capitals. The Islanders did.
Yeah, I was actually talking to somebody about that because I was kind of confused why he left. But apparently it was over money. The Caps didn't want to pay this. They win their first Stanley Cup. This guy brings it to them, and they didn't want to pay him. I mean, how bizarre is that?
Not only that, but so many years of consistent. I know they were always kind of losers in the playoffs, but so many years of consistent play where they were always in the mix.
He's like the 4th winningest coach in NHL history, if I'm not mistaken. I mean,
I'm not sure about that, but I know he's definitely He's definitely up there.
But I didn't understand why they would have let him go. But apparently he wanted a raise, and they turned their back on him, so he booked. And I'm like, wow. There's gratitude for you, huh?
Yeah. Hey, you know what? I can't even say it's what have you done for me lately because the last thing he did was bring him a cup. But you know what? Islanders got themselves a coach now, so good for them.
Yes, they do.
So, all right. So you want to check in with the sponsors real quick?
Yes, we do. We got Lynch Toyota from Manchester, Connecticut, and Harley-Davidson of Utica. They've been with us every week, and again, we keep reaching out to you fans. We'd love to get some emails from you, and we're going to have hopefully get some more sponsors, and we appreciate you guys checking in with us, and we thank our sponsors for supporting us, and looking forward to next week's show, Doug.
Absolutely, for sure. So we'll check in with you guys next week, and have a good week.
Yep, the show will be up tomorrow, so check it out and send us some comments and emails. We'd love to hear from you and mention you on the air. Thanks for joining us.
All right.
All right, guys.